Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Dean Rogers. Welcome back to the Dean Rogers Show. Today, we've got a very exciting guest, Mr. Rafael Zabala. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm happy to be here, brother. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, dude. So you go by Rafa too, right?
That's right. Yeah.
That's what your friends call you. I'm excited to have you here because we just met for the first time recently, and man, I gotta say, you lit me on fire, dude. You have such just a genuine energy to you, and such a giver, and so I'm excited to have you here. For those of you that don't know Rafa, he's got behind him a two comma Club X award, which means he did $10 million with one funnel. He's also got a 2 comma Club Award, which means he did 1 million with one funnel. And he also won SaaSpreneur Award winner of the year with Go High Level. So lots of exciting stuff. We've got some super juicy stuff to go into with you guys today. If you want to connect with Rafa, you go to Facebook. That's the best place to connect with him. I love to connect on Facebook too. You can find him there, Rafael E. Zabala on Facebook. We'll have all that stuff up on the screen on the video here. So, dude, let's dive in. Let's talk a little bit about your story, and then you got some goodies to share with us today and kind of show some of this marketing and automation that you've built out.
Yeah, absolutely. So where do we start? The story?
Yeah, let's start with the story.
Well, listen, the accolades that you mentioned, right, as awesome as they are, I am so proud of them. It's not because that these are things that I did by myself, but these are things that I've done with amazing people. I've been so blessed on my path that I have had people that are incredibly hardworking, even smarter than I am, and that have that trust and faith and that vision and dream to do beautiful things. And I've been blessed with that in my career. I started online marketing in the early 2000s. It's crazy, dude. Google was just 4 years old when we started doing search engine optimization. And I feel like I got to grow up with this with the search engines. And in that process, I basically got to ride this whole evolution that has taken place and for me, it was moving from the search engine optimizations into landing pages and conversion rate optimization, into the CRMs and into marketing automation, and then the explosion of social media and the ability to retarget and reconnect. It's been such a wild ride. And the best part is that it's just getting started. Like, okay. I really feel that some of the changes that are taking place in marketing today and technology today are just so mind-blowing that we could have never, ever have dreamed of it. It is absolutely incredible. So, and I think that's some of the stuff that we're going to dive into today, because what we're seeing is it's almost like a renaissance for marketing and sales, because for a long time, marketing and sales like separated, and there were two different entities for a long time, and it's been like this almost tug of war, how they communicate to each other, how do they work together. And as technology has been advancing, it's kind of been slowly bringing them closer and closer and closer together. And today we live in a world where the opportunity is it's a whole new way of looking at it. One of my friends calls it revenue marketing, where sales and marketing are really that one thing, that one entity. And today it's happening thanks to the technology that we have.
Yeah, it's crazy. You're in the industry with the fastest pace of innovation right now. And you kind of got to hold on to your seat as everything's going so fast, right? But you've been
I used to have hair when I started this, but it was just like, it just blew right off.
Oh, man, that's good. So, well, cool, man. That's exciting. It's fun that you've been able to see that journey and be a big part of it. Obviously, you've had great success with it. So let's talk about what you're most excited about now. And as you said before we jumped on, you've got some really cool stuff that you want to share with people.
Yeah, absolutely. So, especially for the audience that's joining us today, right? This audience is the solopreneur, the entrepreneur, that person that has a vision for something else and more, and that's trying to do something that's unconventional, right? The rest of the way, the rest of the river is flowing in this direction. In our audience, our people, they're saying, wait, hold on, there's a better way to do it. But it's tough, and it has been tough. And that's why not everyone that wants to do what we do, either in the real estate space or the online marketing space, can do it. Because along the way, there's so many challenges, not to mention, not the least, the technology and operational aspects of things, right? Mm-hmm. But that is being so quickly, completely wiped out. And so what I'm most excited about is that the solving of these challenges that used to exist, to be able to, as an individual, be able to run a freaking army of one or an army of 100, as we're going to talk about here today, through the use of the blend of CRM, funnel building, marketing automation, all of these calendaring, social posting, messenger, DM, all of these tools that now have been available for quite some time. The greatest challenge that we've been facing is how do we bring it all, how do we connect these things, right? And that often required, if not coding, confusing Zaps and Zapier, for those you guys that know what I'm talking about. I mean, thank God for Zapier, but still, it's still an incredible headache. So Imagine, Dean, a world where all of that disappears, because all those tools are being brought down under one roof, where it's easy to use, easy to access. And even people that don't have the experience that you and I have can rapidly kind of take a quick learning curve and then become masters of the universe, thanks to the integration of all of these amazing tools.
Don't get me excited like that. Yeah, no, that's it's incredible. And I think for those that understand, have maybe gotten into the game of, like you said, being an entrepreneur and finding, how do you communicate with your audience? How do you communicate with your clients, your customers? How do you have that more automated so that it's not so painful? And it seems like you've kind of discovered the holy grail right now of how those universes come together, and how you can help your business grow much faster by having these tools in your hands. So let's dive into the good stuff.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and make the big reveal of what tool I'm talking about, because I think probably lots of people have heard about it. Some might be using it already. A lot of people don't fully understand what it really is, right? And so what am I talking about? I'm talking about High Level, or Go High Level, or GHL. It's been around for a hot minute. And it's had different names. People don't know exactly what to call it.
Right. I've felt the same way. Like I've heard Go High Level, but then I've heard High Level. I've heard all the same things. Yeah.
So funny story there. And that is that as a young company, when they first started, right, the domain name High Level wasn't available, right? So what did they pick? GoHighLevel.com.
Yeah.
And then, so of course, the early converters are super nerds like me, right? How do we call them? We call them by their URL. If they gave us the opportunity to call them by their IP address, we might. Oh, that's 131.5232187. But Go High Level was the URL that they had, and that's why we've been calling it that from the get-go, right?
Yeah.
But it's an incredible tool. And Dean, it sounds like you've heard about it.
I have. And as a matter of fact, with my coaching and with my students and everything, I'm just rolling it out as we're airing, making this episode now, just rolling it out, something that I've known about. I've been going back and forth trying to figure out which technology am I going to use to deliver my course, in all the content. How am I going to stay engaged and in contact with all my students, all prospective students? And so there's just so much out there, and there's a lot of opinions on what works best. And I've seen the go high level side from some friends. I've also seen the other side of tried and true products that have been around for a long time. But like you said, they start to become a spaghetti web of all these different tools working together. And if something breaks, it all breaks, and it can become a nightmare. So I was having analysis paralysis, admittedly, of being hesitant of going in on one of these tools because of knowing that if I go down this rabbit hole, it could be the right one or the wrong one, and I didn't want to pick the wrong one. So I think I made the right choice.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm so grateful for the tried and true tools that have come along the way, right? ClickFunnels, ActiveCampaign, they're amazing tools. Acuity scheduling, Calendly, these are amazing tools. Hootsuite, amazing tools that without them, in Salesforce and Podio, Pipedrive, without these tools, we wouldn't be able to be entrepreneurs like we are today. We would be stuck with the mainstream. We'd have to go find a job, because trying to run a business without access to those enterprise level tools as individuals is close to impossible, right? Mm-hmm. But as those tools become available, impossible then becomes inevitable, because now you have the tools and the power to go to actually have an impact on your business, to actually be able to run a whole business, even if you're an individual, one person. And so while those tools were amazing and we learned so much from them, they still have that challenge. And that challenge is that they're still interconnected. I remember when I finished reading .com Secrets, which is an incredible book that I highly recommend. I know a lot of people have read it, and I know a lot of people still have not. It's still worth it. I think it came out 2016, and it's been updated since. But guys, the information in this book is timeless. It's 100% timeless. It'll, for the next 100 years, this stuff is going to work, because it's the psychology of how you take people through steps where they further commit to receive value from you. And if you understand that that's what funnels are, value ladders, right? And we have so many funny names that we keep coming up for these things, right? At the end of the day, they're just steps, right? They're just steps where we're not just moving them in the step, we're giving them the opportunity for them to take action and move in a step, and to say, yeah, I'm interested. And in that process, and here's the key to true success, then delivering that value that they raised their hand for, right? So many people think lead generation is like, oh, they got my lead magnet, now I'm ready to wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Let's give me $15,000. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work like that in real estate. Hey, they signed up, they filled out your form to see if they're a motivated seller. Right now, the conversation starts. It's the beginning of the conversation. And at the end of the day, no matter if you're in real estate or info products, or I think any kind of business, Dean, I think you'll agree that you have to win that person over. Right?
Yeah, such a good analogy, man. That brought it right home for me. These are things that are clicking in my head as you're saying them. And I think that's important to know, is when you're in sales and marketing, it's about that relationship and the trust that you're building. So, yeah, you said it perfectly there.
Trust, expertise, and authority, right? Because there seems to be these three ingredients to it, right? They have to have the trust. You have to have that trust in place. That they trust that you understand where they're at, and that, hey, this is a reputable person, right? I can listen to what they're saying. But then you have to deliver the goods, the expertise, right? Not only am I trustworthy or am I winning your trust, I'm winning your trust and I'm giving you the answer. I'm not that I'm an expert. It's no, hey, hi, I happen to be an expert on this, but I'll let you judge. Here's the answer, right? Here's what you asked for, right? In that process, and then if you want to make a sale, then you need to have the authority that says, and by the way, I can make this happen for you.
Hmm.
Right?
I wrote those down. Trust, expertise, and authority. That applies to any business right there.
100%. And so, so how do we do that? How do we build that? It's been so hard, even with all of the advances in the technology that we've seen in the last 5 years. I mean, so many funnel builders. Like I'm still very proud of these awards, but you know what I'm most proud of also is that there's almost like 2,000 people that have won that award. And I think, and to me, that doesn't bring it down. To me, that makes it even more powerful because, hey, that means this works, right? We have something good to share. And in sales and marketing, that's the last ingredient. You have to have something good to share. And so how do we automate that process? Well, we've had the tools in the past. Today, now we have high level that brings all those tools in one place. So you've seen it, right? What are some of the tools that you're aware of that are in one place with high level?
Say that one more time.
What are some of the tools that you've seen inside of high level that you're excited about?
So, I mean, you already named them all. And again, the fact that they're all in the same place. So I'd say the ability to create the funnel, to create your website, to the calendar, right? To just automating the whole interaction, obviously tying in the social media aspect of it to where if they're replying to an ad or they're replying to a call to action, that all funnels and flows in there. It's just crazy. And I'm still in the infancy stage of rolling it out. I'm going through a slow roll right now, building out my 2.0 version of my coaching program in it because of how excited I am. And this is crazy that you're asking me this. The reason I'm creating my 2.0 version of my coaching program is because of you. From the presentation you gave at the last mastermind we were at, I was so moved that you gave me all the ingredients that I needed because I knew there was something on my heart that knew I could do something even more to help my students. I already know my students are having success. There's always going to be some that no matter how much you try to, bring the horse to water, cup your hands and give them the water, they're not going to take the effort for some reason or another, even though you try your hardest and continue to try. I know that there's even more I can try to do to help even more. And you said everything that I needed to hear that connected all the dots in my head. So you were instrumental, whether you knew it or not. And that's why I came up to you after, because I was like, oh yes, this is so good. So yeah.
Man, that makes me so happy to hear. And I can't wait to see the amazing things that you create from that.
Yeah.
And please know that I'm here at your service, brother. Like I love to nerd out on this kind of stuff. Cool. And based off of that, I like to nerd out a little bit on the part that I like the most about or one of the things. Like it's like the thing is like when you and please don't tell my wife I said this, but when you ask me like what is it that you love the most about a high level, it's like almost asking that about my wife. It's like everything. I love all of it. Now, of course, I love my wife a lot more than high level. I'm a nerd, but I'm not that much of a nerd. and so I don't know how much time we have left, but I think that I think it would be really appropriate to give people an opportunity for those that don't know to understand what can be automated in a system like this, because it's the automation. It's what happens when these things take place. It's what happens when someone fills out a form or joins a membership site or sends you a message, right? Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
So how much time do we got? We good?
Yeah, we got some time. Let's go through rapid fire. I know you wanted to share some goodies. Let's hit them with some high level and show them what you got.
All right. I'm going to move really fast through this. Can you see my screen?
I can, yeah.
All right, guys, what you're looking at here is High Level is actually my white label of High Level. It's really cool. One of the things that High Level does that no other platform does like they do is that they let you white label it, create it for your own software, for your own business, for your own community. That by itself, Dean, it tells you the kind of people that you're working with.
Crazy.
Like these guys are just humble and are delivering value. So as Dean mentioned, there's a lot of stuff in here that we already covered, from the CRM aspect of it, right? What you would expect to see in a CRM, as well as the calendaring systems in one place. So now you don't have to connect the dots like you used to in the past. And one of my favorite features in this is that one place for all the conversations. Dean, as you know, for real estate investors, product, any type of sales, the conversation can happen in multiple channels. It can happen on the phone, it can happen on text, it can happen in email, it can even happen on social. And it's such a pain to try to track that conversation where it happens. While with High Level, it happens all in one place. Regardless if it's SMS or email, or if they connected via Messenger, direct mail, direct message DMs, or WhatsApp, then all happens in one place. So for yourself or your teammates, the recording of the phone calls, every email, every SMS, every social message, it's in one place. Pretty cool, right?
Pretty wild, yeah.
Pretty freaking wild. I think this is probably one of the most unsung super values of this process. But of course, we have our pipelines, just like how you expect to see pipelines. For those of you guys who don't know what pipelines are, this is a tool that we use in sales to help people move through different steps in a pipeline, right? It's steps in our sales process. And of course, it's very important. It also has the power to integrate payments, build invoices out of here, send invoices. It integrates with your Stripe, with Authorize.net, NMI. Dean, I'm really excited to say that I'm working on the back end on some really cool merchant processing, a new solution for our community. More to come on that, but you're going to see it here at one point. And so, so this is kind of the CRM aspect of it, right? We also talked very briefly that it has the ability to build funnels, and I'm not going to dig into that too much. But guys, for you guys that have been on ClickFunnels or any type of funnel builder, it's just like that. It's very simple. It's super easy. You can build out funnels. There's templates. It's preloaded with all the templates in the universe. Have you seen all the templates, Dean? They have?
I've seen some of the templates. Again, the version that I got has their own version of their templates, right? It was a white labeled version. So I'm looking at all of their templates. But yes, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so very easy to use. There's elements, just point and click, type around, and you're able to begin to edit your funnels, right? Over here, so far, nothing so radical, nothing so new. Then we have the email marketing stuff. I don't know if you've explored. It has a full social posting. It connects into your Facebook page, Instagram DM, Google My Business, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok. Imagine being able to organize all that in one place. And by the way, a lot of really smart people are releasing as we speak integrations with ChatGPT into all these systems that we're talking about. And including for some of the people that use my white label, they're going to have access to ChatGPT inside of all of these places. So they can be using AI within the system. Can you imagine how powerful that becomes, how quickly and powerful that becomes, like just an absolute game changer?
That's wild.
So it also has email templates and email marketing. I'm not going to dive in too deeply into this, right? But just to show you that basically we have everything under one roof, right? Where the magic really happens, guys, is inside of the automations. The automations are absolutely incredible because the sky's the limit on what you can do. Right off the bat, it has all of these cool recipes that you can set up that show you the automations are already in place. And Dean, this is what I've used to kind of learn automation. I just use templates and learn from them. And then I go, how can I make this better? If that works this way, what if I wanted to do this instead? Even some really simple, cool ones, dude, for years, I've been trying to figure out how to do an easy automation that said, if I miss phone call, send them a text with my scheduling link, right? Guys, right off the bat, like this system allows you to integrate all of these channels to let you automate in this way. So I'm going to jump into this simple example, right? And for those of you guys who aren't familiar with automation, it's a lot simpler than people let on to be. Automation is basically two major things: a trigger, which is what starts the automation, and then everything that happens. And I like to think about it as a train, because it's like a sequence of events. The train leaves the station, and these things are going to begin to happen, right? So in this case, the trigger was an incoming call into our system, right? That the call status was busy, voicemail, or no answer. Basically means I missed a phone call. Pretty simple, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the trigger. Well, then what happens? It does a slight delay. It puts a 0.2 minute delay just to let everything catch up. And then it assigns it to a specific user. If I wanted to, I can assign it to a team member or to myself, right? I can add a contact so that I can follow along and say, hey, missed call contact, a tag, right? For those of you that are familiar with tags, we use them a lot for like breadcrumbs to let us know what someone has done. And we can use it to trigger further automations or just track what's going on. And then send them a simple text. Hey, sorry I missed your call. How can I help? Or here's my scheduling link. And then send a notification to the person that it was assigned saying, dude, you missed the phone call. We send a text, make sure to follow up. It's crazy, dude. Like this stuff, you would have to have been a programmer to be able to make this stuff happen.
No kidding.
In the past. And not only, so that's one example. Here I'm showing you everything it can do, right? It can send emails, SMSs, add to call lists. High Level comes with its own auto dialer that you're able to add for phone lists for your agents and stuff like that. You can do drop voicemails with it. You can send through social channels, as I mentioned, and so much more. You can manipulate the data within the CRM, assign to users, add to additional campaigns or workflows. You can even grant access to membership sites. And this thing, it's even smart because you can do if and else statements as well. Let's check this out. You probably haven't seen this yet. Did you know that it has already within it the ability to do AI freaking appointment setting for you?
So it sends them a message and asks them when they're available, that kind of stuff.
So it sends them a message. Hey, so once I trigger the AI appointment booking bot, it will ask him, it's like, great. So would you like to, I have times available. When would be a good time this week? And it'll say, well, I think I'm available on Tuesday. Great. At Tuesday, I have available, and it'll check your calendar and say, we have available 10:30, 11:30, and 12:30. And they go, well, actually, no, Friday will work best. Great. On Friday, I have 2:00. Does that work? Yes. It does that what I just told you?
Yeah.
It does it all by itself. It's done this feature, people will be surprised to know, these guys launched this even before ChatGPT was out. This is running on Google Dialogflow, their AI, and just to give you a sense of how advanced, ahead of the curve this team is. And Dean, I'm going to say one last thing about High Level, and that is that, you know what the coolest thing for a nerd like me is to do every Monday morning? It's to check into the High Level group and see all of the new updates that they do. I'm not kidding. There's like 7, 8 updates a week that they're adding into this platform, and everyone gets it. Is incredibly, incredibly powerful, right? And so we have, Dean, we have a free license that we're offering of our white label. And we put it together for that event that you and I were together at, right? And what I've done is, I wish this existed when I started my business, right? So what I did is I created through my white label. I was able to say, I said, listen, I'm going to give a one user license. So like if you're a solopreneur, perfect. You can grab this license and run your business by yourself for free, right? Forever. It's a forever free solo license. And the reason that we're doing that is because we're looking just to build a community of like-minded individuals that are excited to be empowered to have this level of technology. And if people have a team and they want to be able to give this power to their team, I am also offering a one-time payment of $9.95. They can have access to a one lifetime license of Go High Level plus Appointment Machine, which is all of our frameworks and that we've done to generate 3,500 appointments a month. This is how we do this part. Wow. Yeah, it's absolutely insane, and we've put it all in there. And Dean, I hope you'll be able to share it with your community. And again, this is just us creating a call to arms to the entrepreneurs, the people that are trying to do the best that they can with what they have, to give them access to what I think is the most powerful innovation in marketing in the last handful of years. So
that's amazing. So how can people take advantage of this offer? Where can they find it?
So I'll have to give you the link here real quick. Is it okay if I give you a link?
Yeah. You can pop it up too if you want to share it on the screen. I don't know if you got a landing page for it or.
I do. It's just not a friendly podcast share link, and
yeah,
I'm silly about that. But
we'll put it in the show notes.
Perfect. And I'm popping it in here for you now. And it's like I said, it truly is a forever free solo license for one individual. Use it as a student license to learn. Or if you're a solo entrepreneur, go for it. If you want, there's an opportunity to upgrade to a team license, and we have a ton of bonuses included with that, and much more to come on all of that. We're building a mastermind around this as well, and everyone that's coming in is going to be included in that at no additional charge.
That's awesome. So yeah, the link, I'll say it out loud, is go.appointmentmachine.ai/am-free. So we'll have that up on the screen. You guys will see it. We'll have it in the show notes. That's awesome, man. That's cool that you can basically, you white label Go High Level. You then have the ability to hand deliver all of your funnels, everything that you've built out that has helped you achieve your success, and get a light. That's really cool. Again, when I signed up for mine, I didn't know about it. I probably didn't know enough of what you were saying when you were on stage to realize the offer you had, or I'd probably be in it. But that's incredible. So amazing, man. Again, for those of you that want to connect with Rafael, you can find him on Facebook, Rafael E. Zabala. We'll have that up on the screen as well. Have it in the show notes to connect with you on Facebook. But dude, so awesome to have you on. Love your passion. And again, I had to give you some more props. I don't know if I told you all of that before, but you really helped me connect some dots. And I think there's those kind of moments throughout each and everyone's journey where you hear something that finally connects that piece that you needed, that makes you feel like this is it. This is what I needed. So you were one of those people for me, man. So so honored to have you on. Any last words you want to share with the audience? Yeah,
what you were just sharing, that happens in community, right?
Yes.
Like we don't know how we can touch other people's lives. And that's why I'm doing this. It's just to call the right community around us. We're stronger together. I'm so grateful to live in a time that we don't have to be guarded with our secrets, right? We can share what we know. And in that process, in that sharing, we receive so much more. We learn so much more.
Mm-hmm.
And
Amen.
I think that this is an example of that.
Beautiful, man. Well, again, such a pleasure to have you on. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Until next time, peace.
Thank you, guys.